You know, had all weekend to think about this. You know, the first instinct that came to my mind was, okay, this is obviously disturbing, it's disgusting, it's very unfortunate. But I must admit to you, Skip Bayless, I kind of had a smile on my face because I also was not surprised. And I wasn't surprised because I remember one time I was in the Staples Center a couple of years back, and believe it or not, Donald Sterling always comes up to me when he sees me at the games for the Clippers, and he says, "I'm such a fan of your work. I just love your work," and blah, blah. And I appreciated the compliments and the kind words. And my man Baron Davis, who used to play for the Clippers, pulled me to the side one day. He said, "Do you know this man's history? Do you know what he's..." Because I had no idea. I had no clue. And then you look up and you see racial discrimination lawsuits. You see the Department of Justice involved. You see a $2.17 million settlement that he had to dole out because of his transgressions, refusing to rent to black and Hispanic families. And I said to myself, you know, okay, we got this. We see what it is right now and understand what's going on here. Clearly, based on a lawsuit the wife has filed against the woman that he supposedly, allegedly was having a relationship with on the side.
Yep.
You know, we understand he was messing with the girl. He was talking to her, and he was clearly offended that she was in the company and publicizing friendships, relationships, or whatever the case may be with black people. That part did not surprise me one bit, that Donald Sterling would feel that way. What resonated with me, however, is when he talked about how even Magic Johnson, and then he said because she threw in the Larry Bird comparison, and he brought up Magic Johnson as well. She brought up Magic Johnson, and he said, "I don't mind you hanging out. You do whatever you want to do. Just don't publicize it and don't bring him to my games." And obviously we heard on the tape him continuously alluding to black people. Why are you around black people? What does that do for you? Et cetera, et cetera. And if you listen to the tape, it resonates so profoundly because it speaks to ultimately the fears, the emotions, the ire, and the vitriol that continuously emanates from the black community. When we say, you really don't like us, you really don't want us around, you really want us to stay in our place. And Donald Sterling exemplified and illuminated that better than anybody could have hoped to. Because basically what he is saying is, I have no problem with black people so long as they're in a subservient position. I have no problem with black people whatsoever, as long as they stay in their place. I don't want them on with me. I don't want them on my level. So if you're having a relationship on the side with some young honey.
And
okay,
by the way,
right,
she's black and Mexican.
But he didn't know she was black.
Okay. I guess that was news to him.
He didn't know about the black part.
Okay.
He knew about the Mexican part. He didn't know about the black part.
Right.
But even then, considering some of the stuff that he's articulated in the past about blacks and Mexicans, it don't really matter because he seemed to have a problem with anybody who wasn't white. But what America needs to understand is that the uproar emanates from the fact, it's like an aha moment. See, I've been telling y'all moment. Because what Donald Sterling displayed, allegedly, assuming it's his voice, which they're still checking with the league, what he displayed ultimately substantiated the fears of an entire nation of black people. When we say, this is how a lot of folks feel about us who are not black. We're fine as long as we stay in our place. And what makes this egregious, and I have more to say, but I want to give it to you, Skip. But what makes this egregious is that the NBA is 80% black. You have a team that's more than 80% black. You have a head coach who is now also in control of basketball operations who is black. You have no problem saying these things because they're making you money, but you don't really want them around. They're basically labor to you. It's been validated. It's been substantiated forever. He has to go. He cannot be an owner in the NBA. Commissioner Silver, the NBA owners, do not have the power to just strip him of ownership. They can only fine him $1 million. They can suspend him possibly indefinitely. What they need to do is stand up and galvanize America by sending a simple message. We don't want this man as a part of our NBA community. Can you help him get rid of us? Because the NBA's constitutional bylaws don't allow us to do that. We need to stand up. And they need to stand up and say, could you help us get rid of this man? Because that ain't us. We want no part of this man. That's what has to happen, quick, fast, and in a hurry. And by the way, Skip Bayless, if it doesn't happen by this time tomorrow morning, I'm going to have something more to say tomorrow. It had better. The NBA owners and Commissioner Adam Silver, they need 24 hours. This should be done by then.